Hello, everybody. How is it going? It's Richie here from Derby After Dark, and I am joined by Alex, by Tom, and Dave from Team England. So this is the final show that we will be doing before Worlds. It's this week. It has finally come. How are you all doing, everyone?
Bloody brilliant. Excited. Finally made it.
Yeah, it's been a long old build up, hasn't it, to get here? So much work being done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it now.
I know it's a little bit crazy, isn't it? To be fair, it's like we've had basically the entire year to build up for this, and it's just come around super fast now. Actually, the fact it's this week, it almost doesn't feel real. Like obviously, me and Tom were on Sun Tzu the other day, talking about the team and the preparation for the build up. And yeah, that's kind of when it finally kicked in for me that Worlds is this year. Like all of the anticipation is finally coming through, and it's kind of feels real now, definitely.
Yeah, the sweats have kicked in. It's lying your head down on the pillow at night, going, "Have I done this? Have I done that?" I painted my army, right? I painted my army 6 months ago, but I'm still just like, did I paint everything? Is it all done? Going through everything now. It's good nerves though.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great for me. I didn't have an army to paint, so I've just been sat here going, "Well, I'll just label something else with a Dymo gun. Why not?" Yeah, it's been good.
Mark, how's it going, mate? Yes, it's going to be good, mate. It's going to be really good. Super excited about that as well. Right, so good morning, mate, from Missouri as well. Good morning. How's it going? It's afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon for us anyway, but good morning to everybody else around. How is everybody in the chat? I hope you are well. So we literally, for those of you just joining, we just kind of wanted to talk about how the team got going and basically what we're excited for this weekend, and how the year's been a little bit stressful running up to it. So for those of you who don't know, Alex, I have had him on the show a couple of times, but he is the team manager. Do you want to run us through kind of like the role that you've played this year, mate? Because he has been instrumental to basically everything so far.
I think my role has been I've been all over the place from the start, haven't I? So for when we first started organising things, getting things together, getting just small things like the matrix, making sure that's available for everybody, setting up big old folders that I have to invite Richard to like 5 or 6 times every day because he forgets where the fucking thing is. With all the info we need in there, keeping up to date with all the new postings, all the rule changes, bits and pieces like that. But a lot of it has been, for me, it's been admin for the most part, making sure that, I set out to try and do as much as I could so that the players didn't have to. So that was something they didn't have to worry about and they could concentrate more on just playing the game, because that's not what I'm there to do. I'm not there to play. I'm there to sort of make sure everything works in the background. And then the big thing for me, which I've only had the chance to practice the once at the home nations, is during the games itself, I've taken on sort of like it's more of a coaching role, isn't it, I suppose? But it's basically running around between the tables, trying to figure out how the games are going, which is actually quite difficult, just to spend 30, 40 seconds at a table trying to figure out which way a game's going, to then sort of feed that back, keep track of it all, and sort of try and make some decisions myself, because it feels like I'm playing my own mini game, where you guys are all playing your actual games. I could be going around trying to get people to pull back, save points, or push when they might need to push, takes risks, or figure out if we're actually able to take the risks, communicate that round, and then cross my fingers it all goes well and get a round win out of it. So it's sort of juggling our games, how they're going, to figure out how the round's going to end up, because whilst you guys are playing, you're not really thinking about the overall round. You think about your game, whereas I'm trying to figure out how do we maximise points or minimise the points we're going to lose. So that in itself is it was fun. I'll be honest, it was quite a bit of fun, but it's also very aware that if I make the wrong call, we've lost a round. So that's what I've been doing for the past 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months, whatever it's been.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually, because a lot of people, when they see like Team Warhammer, they just kind of look at the players playing themselves and they think it's all down to that, but there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. We've got some really nice like members of staff in the background that have been working super hard this year, actually a lot harder than some of the players as well, to make sure that the team does as well as it possibly can do. So a lot of gratitude for that. That's why I wanted to get Alex on to basically kind of talk through that as well. Rock and Stowe, buddy. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. Right. Is there anything that you want to say, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, just going off of what Alex was saying, I think it's really important for those who are wanting to get into teams events and stuff like that. And there are more and more of them popping up across the whole world at the moment. You're hearing of both, organized international level ones, but also 4, 5, 8 player events where you can just bring your local club or bring your friends and do that. And I think the important thing to remember is preparation is key for these things. You could have 5 of the most rocking, best players on the planet with the best lists who have never met each other, and they will get slapped by 5 mediocre players who have put hours and hours of prep in. Because it's so much of it has got to do with how your armies are built, how they're built together, how you play them against each other, and having a lot of the stress taken away by coaches on the day means your players can just focus on playing, like Alex was saying. It's super important, and it's been really fun as well. I've helped somewhat.
Yeah, so we got a really nice comment from Mark. I think this one's for you, Alex. Yeah, it is definitely not an easy job, and that is why Alex actually won the man of the team when we were at Home Nations, just because of it's kind of crazy.
No, I think it's definitely been an interesting few months. Like I say, most of my life has been spent in spreadsheets. But then when I actually did the job itself at Home Nations, it was a massive learning game. So it's, I think it's something maybe we'll talk about after Worlds. But for these team events, it's not just 8 people rock up and play Warhammer. There's so much. I mean, most of the work's been done over the last 7, 8, 9 months. Putting everything together is so much admin. I think for next year, whoever takes over or whoever's on the Team England next year, they're going to have a whole buttload of all that prep done ready for them, but we've had to do it from scratch. It's been good, and and I'm talking a lot here, but something definitely to mention: Matt Roberts, the vice chair of Team England, with his previous experience from AOS. He was a massive help because things like the Matrix and some of the other things we're tracking, we won't say too much, but we're tracking a lot of things across all our games. A lot of that was put in place because he'd had it from AOS Worlds. So that was a huge sort of step up to get us going. So yeah, it's been a lot of work.
Yeah, it's been really interesting because obviously we've had players that have played in different game systems, and a lot of the old fantasy kind of Matrix system, we've kind of updated that into like the modern games, and that seems to be working quite nicely. We had a message for you, Dave, from Aaron. Dave Bruce on my phone.
Harry of Durham, the ginger god himself. He's trying to be you as well, poor Aaron, and play the gyro spam, and it's not been going great for him recently. So he needs a one-on-one coaching session with you, Richie.
Face tattoos. That's how you do it. That's how you master it. Face tats.
That is how you win. What do you mean recently? I saw him playing. Yeah, I saw his list at the Forgotten North actually, and it was a lot more gyros than I'd ever take. Anyway, that was a crazy amount of gyrocopters.
He played Pash at an event, and Pash did his magic trick where every single unit had a wound left, and he ended up getting nothing out of it, despite killing everything, barring 1 wound on everything. Poor thing. But we love Aaron. He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, it's just horrendous. I like the fact that you've now been able to, you can get points for stuff that you take down to 1 wound. So can't agree more with Tom talking about the list. Haven't taken part in a tournament in nearly 20 years, but won the North Wales GT with X-Force the other week. So important to have the right list. Yeah, no, 100%. I saw that as well with your USA t-shirt on. Congratulations, mate. I really, really rated the list. It's very similar to something that I would run. Like in a singles event, it's probably almost exactly the same list that I would run as well with the sappers and stuff in it. Really rate that, mate. It was really, really good. So should we kind of, so now we've got a few people in here anyway, should we kind of start talking about how we kind of got the team rolling anyway? Because obviously next year after Worlds, we can try and get some more people in the team if we get voted back on, because the way that we are running our team, as a couple of like other different teams around the country aren't, couple of other teams around the world aren't doing, we are voting in every position. So the captain isn't safe, the chairs aren't safe. We've got to reapply for every single role, and we want to keep it as fair as we possibly can. So we actually have a Discord, which I'll put in a link to the description at some point once we're done, which is the Team England hub. So it's mainly for like players in the UK that are going to events and are quite passionate about it. So if you want to be involved in voting for players and stuff next year, then come and get involved. It's a good Discord where everybody chatting about events and stuff. It's really good. And basically, I don't even know where I was going with that. I've completely forgot I've lost my train of thought.
We each talk about how the process, because we've got we've got a captain, a vice, a coach, and a player. How we got onto the team and the process of it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right, Dave, do you want to start, mate?
It's pretty straightforward. I was a late bloomer in Warhammer. I got involved with Warhammer when Old World released. Was the first actual edition I'd actually played games for, and I created a list that many people know. I think Aaron himself said, you know, I absolutely hate your list, but love you. And that's what I always sort of aimed for going to events. And I was pretty successful once I sort of figured out the game and won my first GT, the second tournament I ever went to, and then won a few more events on the back of that. I was sort of tuning it up, and the opportunity came up. So I applied. Richie did a load of due diligence on me, apparently, and then was offered the role.
So the reason I'm going so the reason for this was, so his handle on Discord was Brewdog, right? And there was the picture of the Brewdog beer logo. Oh no, I've zoomed in. Oh no,
It's getting serious.
oh no, oh no, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, right. I'm gonna have to sort that. I've zoomed in really bad. So, oh my god.
I think it just while you try and sort this out, Rich, you try and sort that out, mate, and I'll take over for you for a second. So for those of you who don't know Rich that well, tech is not his forte. So a big part of my job for the past how long have I known you now? 10 years has been sorting out all these tech mishaps, and unfortunately, I can't help you this time, mate.
I'm just waiting for him to call Amy.
There we go. Yes, sorted. Right, I'm not going to do that again. Yeah. So basically, with Dave, there was a little bit of controversy going around at that time about the owner of Brewdog, and because his name was Brewdog on Discord and also the picture, we just assumed that he might have been the owner. So we had to do like a little bit of background research to try and make sure that he wasn't.
Wouldn't he be applying for Team Scotland though?
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is like, I don't know. It was just in the news.
I got the nickname Brewdog when Brewdog was actually punkish, and it was a new, fresh brewery, and my surname's Brewis, so it became Brewdog, and it's gone on for years, and it's just stuck. And now I've watched them progressively turn into the biggest arseholes you've ever seen, and I'm like, well, I don't want to give up the name at this point, but
I think it's worth pointing out that whilst you were being checked, the first thing I said was, well, maybe if he is, we can get free beer, so he's definitely on the team. Yeah.
Oh, there were thoughts had. It was never a definite no. Like there's controversy, but there's funding at the same time. Yeah. So yeah,
just free beer for the team. Yes, yeah. That's right. We got Brewis instead though, so it's all good. So obviously you started with the goblins, with the Gobbo Star, which is the kind of the list archetype that you did create. And then unfortunately with 1.5, that all changed and you had to move on to a different army. Do you want to talk through your kind of evolution into Nuln?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a challenge because there was 7 people's lists that didn't change within that. So you're almost attempting to scrape the barrel to see if there's any sort of power in lists that aren't elsewhere. It's in singles, if your list is broken, then you can immediately just go, oh, I'm now playing Mort Cult. That's fine. I've got a list ready to go. Obviously, Scott was playing Tomb Kings, so all of the armies that I actually play are checked off and covered by other people on the team. So my first thought to it was, because Wizards had been dropped with the whole level 4 becoming effectively a level 2, that all of the lists that were close or were decent but never played competitively just because they couldn't have a level 4, there had to be some play in those. And that was the first sort of thing I was looking at. And then in terms of play style, I tend to do well with movement, positioning, setting up things to punish people in multiple turns. So I was looking for an army that is movement heavy, tends to be more shooting focused, just because I don't believe in the risk reward of combat at the moment in the edition. And it was just a progression through there. So I started off with a number of different things. It started with a traditional non-gun line, which I really didn't like because it didn't have the positional or the movement play towards it. And that sort of developed over time into what I call the known rapid response force, which is just pure... It's wood elves with guns is what I was aiming for. Something that's really quick. It can punish mistakes. If you're too aggressive, it can punish it. If you're not aggressive enough, it can punish it. And really create that sort of pick your poison list. Is something's going to get you with it. What are you going to commit to try and stop me from doing it? So we developed that over time, and then it turned into just the sort of pure outrider spam, and then it was just practice games over and over and over. I felt Nolan was the one in terms of where it fit in the gap for our team, and it was just developing that list to then become teams focused. So there's a lot of questions around the list that people have sort of asked, which I don't give full answers to because it's a tactical reason often, but then also different builds that people have been sending over that we've built it for the team and what we were expecting to see. And then I bought and painted an entire army in like 3 weeks to get it ready for home nations. Thank you to UK Resin Print. Here's your time for your plug, because it's a beautiful army.
Come to us for all your model needs.
Yep. Do
So,
you want an Empire army but don't actually want an Empire army? Why not just do everything's a witch hunter? Tom can sort you out.
and get some big guys riding bats.
Yeah.
So an interesting one. Basically, at the inception of that list as well, we were kind of looking at armies that would almost mirror each other and kind of like mirror the effects of other armies that we were running in the team. So we wanted to get an army that would kind of act similarly to mine. And that is definitely something that Dave has managed to come up with. It has more damage potential output than mine. Potentially can't take the clap back as much, but it can table people pretty quickly. It's quite a scary army actually. It's quite interesting to see as well from like all of the WTC lists and also from people playing around the world that England has a much higher shooting meta than the rest of the world. I'm not really sure why this is. Like we just find over here that shooting leads us to success where it potentially doesn't in other countries. I'm not sure why that is. I'm guessing we'll find out this weekend, I suppose.
Yeah, we will.
But by the way, Alex, you're not actually muting when you're vaping, by the way. Just I'll just jump in there quickly.
Am I not muted now?
No.
Okay.
Just
says it's muted.
It's definitely not right. So Tom, you also had to change your army kind of last minute. Well, I mean,
Well, really
you say had
No.
to, like it's been a chore for this man.
Oh no, it wouldn't have.
He was not scraping any barrels to find a list.
These are entirely viable, like 100% viable. I mean, if I damn needed to, Chorfs are viable. Yeah, there's a good, strong teams build that Chorfs can do, a really good one. I mean, Cakes is taking one. But Cathay is just the damn strongest thing on the market right now, next to Mort Cult and Vampire Counts. But they're not dead. They're the strongest alive faction, hands down. And yeah, I have a printer. I started a Nippon army years ago, and I've just added to it and was in a situation where I was just being able to get loads of games in. But yeah, it's quick. It's fun. No, it's not fun. It's not fun for anybody. But yeah, the team's version of the list is actually a lot tamer than what we're seeing at some tournaments. A lot tamer because of the comp that we've got in place. Thank Christ we're not playing 8 balloons, because that just means one person gets to cry every round.
Oh, see, I prefer playing into that. Like, I actually, weirdly, there's a couple of armies that prefer to play into the more balloons rather than the more unkillable ones. Like, I would much rather play against 6 balloons coming at me than the 2 unkillable ones, just because I get really annoyed when they always pass the regens.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, it was like I say, I would have played Beastmen or Chaos Dwarves if Cathay had never come out, but someone needed to, and I just went dibs really loud and really quickly and just got
Yeah,
there.
you did.
Yeah, very loud and very quickly.
I think about 6 weeks before pre-order, I just dibs, it's mine.
Yeah, the day
Yeah.
the day it went up on it wasn't Warhammer Community. It was at one of the festivals or something like that, or Nova Open. You know, where they do the reveal shows.
Mhm.
The day of that, and we were all live streaming. I was painting models. I was painting a terracotta sentinel as we were watching it. So, like, I was going to get that stuff ready. It's just a shame that I don't actually use any terracotta sentinels. But it's my biggest lament on that army that I will never. I use them in singles if I go to a singles event, but it still feels a bit dirty playing Cathay at any kind of singles event. It's just blur. No. But yeah, in terms of me becoming a vice, that was a fun one because for the players, it was kind of just an application process in terms of what army do you play, a little bit about yourself. You could fill the application out in like with a lot of thought put in 10 minutes. You know, it wasn't a lengthy thing. The Vice one, Richie's one, that was a lot lengthier process. That one, I think I had to write like a 200 or 300 word like miniature essay basically about what I wanted to do for the team, with the team, and how I could help them, experiences that I've had. It was quite a process, and I think there was a good few people who went for it as well. And then Richie and the 2 chairs had the unfortunate decision of having to go through the applications. With me, it must have been hard with me being the successful one. But yeah, it must have been difficult because I don't know who the other applicants were because I was never privy to that information. But I've heard from Sam, who is our chairman, that it was a very tricky decision. Bermuda, that's cool as hell. It's like
yeah.
today. So I wish
I know, yeah, that's much cooler than England.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Worlds to be held in Bermuda now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth mentioning at this point that when the team when it first started, obviously the chair and the vice chairs were sorted out first of all, and then I think the important thing, or something that we wanted to be seen as being really important, was the community hub. So the Team England community hub, which we've got on Discord. Because everything has to be fair, because we don't want anyone feeling left out, because everybody's got the opportunity to try and become part of Team England.
Yeah.
So initially we had the chair and vice chair. They were put in place. They put in system a fair voting system. Next came Rich, who was voted for to become captain. Next came Tom, and then after that there was it was myself, wasn't it, for the coaching role?
Yeah, we put up about 8 different logistics type roles, asking if people wanted to do them, and I think coach was the only one anyone applied for.
Yeah.
Not saying that Alex was the only person, but no one wanted any of the other ones. So.
But I mean, talking about the application for myself, obviously I put down what I'd done previously in the past, etc., my history of Warhammer, what I've done on this sort of scale before. But then when I was in place, then it came down to Richie then trying to pick the team, but it wasn't, again, just for full sort of, so everybody can see full transparency. It wasn't just Richie choosing who the team was. The team itself had the same sort of, like Tom was mentioning, everybody who wanted to apply for the team had to put in, there was a form we had, which we made up for them, saying what sort of experience have you got, what armies do you play, blah, 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 what can you bring to the team, what are your strengths and weaknesses. And that was, there were quite a few applications, weren't there? So, and then that was sort of 3-4 of us going through every single application. And again, we won't go too deep into it, but we came up with a scoring system so that nobody was. There was never a case of, oh, I know this guy is a really good guy. It was all just, it was based on a scoring system to see who.
In fact,
who
if we knew the person, I think we were actually a little bit harsher if we knew the people to just try and distinguish away from.
Is that why everybody on the team's a Geordie?
Probably, because we didn't know anything.
No,
but like, obviously, like me and Richie knew each other and we knew Ed beforehand. And what we didn't want it to be is Tom and Richie and their 6 friends, because that looks bad. You know?
Well, it's not even so much that. It's like when we first started the team, part of my captain application was that I wanted to try and do impose like a triumvirate of kind of power thing in the team. So like the captain doesn't have whole power like they do in other teams. Like I think in a lot of the other teams around the world, the captain has all of the power. Nobody else can decide anything. It's the captain's role that decides everything. Alex, mute yourself.
Apparently I can't. Hang on, let's try this.
Yeah, so basically trying to have it so that the captain can't go rogue, basically. So any decision I would make would have to get voted on by the two different chairs as well that didn't know each other previously. Sam had a lot of experience in Ninth Age, and then Matt came from Age of Sigmar, so completely impartial on all of the different decisions, basically. And that was something that I wanted to put in. So the decisions for all of the team was done like that as well. We tried to do everything as fairly as we possibly could. And it was really difficult. I think one of the hardest parts for me was turning down friends. Like most of the team I hadn't met previously to when they become the team, and turning down people that you're really, really good friends with was always quite a difficult decision. And hopefully no one took it badly. Obviously still really good friends with everyone anyway. But yeah, for me, that was the hardest part of being captain. Definitely. And also seeing some of like there's a few people that didn't realize that we'd done the Discord and stuff like that had kind of put out allegations that we just jumped and made the team, whereas considering that Fred and the WTC Council actually got in touch via Sam and everything was put together that way, was a little bit annoying at the beginning, but it is what it is, right?
No, I think hand on heart, we can sort of look back and look, the formation of the team was done fairly. There was ample opportunity for people to get in touch. I mean, people are going to miss things. It's just the way it works. Because, I mean, Warhammer's hardly the biggest thing in the world, is it? But I personally, for me, I think everything was done fairly. Like you said, friends, people, your mates, things like that didn't get on the team. It's because we put in place things like that point system and bits and pieces like that. So again, I hadn't met, apart from myself and Tom, I didn't know anybody else before we got cracking with this. But yeah, I think that the big thing I'd like to sort of point out is I believe it was done quite fairly.
And the bribes were really cheap. Like,
yeah,
to get on. Very reasonable.
Just a Brewdog beer, right? For everybody in the chat, has anybody got any questions that they would like to put across about either the team or about the WTC or anything? Well, it's almost there, guys. I'm so excited now. I'm actually flying over to Amsterdam tonight because I'm going on a little bit of a break beforehand, so I can kind of like disassociate from Warhammer like a little bit before the tournament, or my head's going to explode, I think.
I'll do the opposite. I'm diving into full-blown admin mode over the next 3 days, and then me and Alex are driving over and catching the ferry on Thursday. So
I've just heard I'm getting to Tom's house and immediately put to work making admin stuff. It's like, oh God, I thought it was done.
Well, no, we're not done yet.
It's a testament to how much Alex, Richie, and Tom have put in place for the sort of admin side of things. Like, I'm working for the next 3 days before going over on Thursday. Like, I've got meetings with the local council tomorrow, so the fact that I don't have to think about anything. I've been offered games by people, and I've just had to say, actually, I'm at the point now where I just need to go into Zen mode and just relax. Now,
That's
just
not
not think about it.
Yeah, not playing. I think I have exhausted all options at this point, and I'm in the case of I might actually psych myself out if I play any more games.
Well,
Thank you so much.
All it takes is you to fail one stupid terror check or something, and then you'll be in your own head. So it's like, no, I'm not playing anymore. We've done enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think for myself, the thing I wish we could have done, which again, because the first time it's happening, it will be bigger and better next year. But I haven't had enough time for myself. I would have liked to have practiced my role a couple more times because I had the one opportunity, which, let's be fair, went really well. We took some points back from it, but I didn't really realise until the home nations that what I was doing there actually had a fair impact on the actual overall scores. So now I just wish I'd have had more chance to practice. But you can't really, I suppose, doing what I'm doing. But next year, looks like there's going to be more events, so maybe I can. Or maybe the next person can.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah, so there are hopefully going to be a lot more team events next year. There's a lot of events organisers like the Alpine Cup are opening up more. There's potential for like the ITC to be restarting for Old World as well, which is going to be quite interesting. So whoever makes it back on the team, there's going to be a lot more events going forward. So that's exciting for all countries, right? Like that's amazing. There's going to be a lot more teams events going around the world. Considering for me, I think that Team Warhammer is 100% my favorite way to play the game. Yeah, like it's just so fun. Like it doesn't matter how you do, it's how the entire team does, and like the sense of camaraderie that you get is just unbelievable. It's so much fun.
It's not only that. So I was building some single because I'm going to Forgotten North, and I was trying to build a list for that the other day, and I don't have to think about my red matchups, not really, in teams, because there's the whole concept of I'm not going to play them unless whoever's doing the pairings is seriously cocked up. Whereas in singles, you have to plan for goddamn everything. And there are occasionally, I don't know anyone who's managed to build a perfect build outside of Undead yet, where it counts. You've got a plan for everything. Most of the times it gets to Undead and you're like, maybe I just don't draw vampire counts. Maybe that'll happen. Like hopefully that occurs. That's currently my plan at Forgotten North is maybe I don't draw vamps, or Mort Cult. But it's so nice not having that thought.
You actually get into team mindset as well, because I was at a one-day event and we were just doing some practice reps. My list is not a singles list, but I rolled into Scott, also on Team England, who is one of my turbo red matchups. And I was messing in the chat going, get in, I got a 15-5. I was like, I lost the event, but in teams, that'd be really good.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I got 5 points out of Scott. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's a singles event. I'm down to 6. Thanks, Scott.
It's definitely something that sort of opens your mind to team play, isn't it? Whereas the lists are completely different to singles, and it's not a case of you trying to figure out what you can win. It's as a team, how do you win? And I think then if because some of the matchups, for example, when you've done pairings, a couple of people have been potentially thrown under the bus, and we know we're going to get a loss from them. And it's all about figuring out with the rest of the team how to make sure that we still end on the positive. It's a completely different way of playing. And Team Warhammer and doubles, things like that. I mean, I've played a few events with Richie and with Tom as well before. We've done some teams before and doubles. And I think that, it's just a completely different mindset. And my favourite thing about it is, whilst we're all there, we want to win. My favourite thing is you're going over with your mates and having a cracking weekend. It's just, you got to love that.
It's going to be interesting for me. I'm going to end up having 2 very distinct Warhammer collections now, and I can see me shelving them in 2 separate areas. Where I've got, these are my team's armies. These are the ones where they're a bit sweaty, they're a bit hardcore. And these are my singles armies, and it's going to be like Troll Horde and others like it, where it's just like, I don't really care where I come anymore in singles. I'm just going to have fun. See, he gets it.
Yeah, every single I'm going to next year, Slayers. I don't even care. I don't care if they're terrible.
Goblins are coming for people.
So it's going to be quite funny. All the current Team England players are developing this weird attitude towards singles, where we're going to drop from being in the top 15, 20 in the country to being in the mid-hundreds, because none of us take anything competitive anymore in singles.
I think it's that thing in teams is when you've got your turbo red matchup, is that you're taking it and you're going to have an awful game, but you're making space for one of your team to have a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of live vicariously through them. They'd just be like, right, I'm going to run away and finish this game in an hour. Now I can go watch my friends play. It's cool.
Yeah, I think, just the whole point, at some point during the pairings, you've got to try and bubble wrap a particular player because there's a couple of armies there that you do not want them playing. It's a really interesting concept. And I think, for me, I think Teams Warhammers is where it's at. Again, that whole thing, weekend with your mates, and you've got the extra side game of pairings, which I'm sure. Have you been through pairings on your channel before, Rich, or is it?
Yeah, so I showed the pairings at Home Nations and I did the pairings at the Italy tournament as well. I'll try and film all of that in Germany as well. I don't know if my head's going to be in the game for filming. I'll try and film as I normally do, but obviously this is going to be a much higher pressure kind of scenario. So I'll try and do as much filming as I can. I'll try and get a nice video to come back to. But yeah, hopefully next year it will be live stream. So hopefully whoever's on the team, you'll be able to watch them playing and stuff live. That'd be really good. It's a real shame that it's not live cast this year, or at least even the top tables. I know over at Sun Tzu they're going to be doing a bit of a live commentary of what's going on, I think. So that'll be really, really good. I'll try and put up as many shorts as I can about who we're playing into and how the round's gone and stuff. But yeah, just super excited. Like our first round opponents are all top notch as well. Like they're all amazing. I've been chatting to most of them; they're awesome.
Just
I
going
think I'll
back to the
do-
world of filming, the more of you that join Richie's channel membership, the more money goes towards a 360 camera that we can tape to Mop's head and have him walk around the hall next year. So the power is in your hands, people.
Yeah, I think
just to make sure we
Thank you
do
very
get
much.
money in, the camera will be muted, so you can't hear Mop whilst he's walking around.
that does save an international political incident, doesn't it?
It does. For anybody that doesn't know who Mop is, basically he was the Chaos player when we went to the Italy event. He is one of the subs, but he's been playing in the international tournaments that aren't worlds, basically. Like he's coming and playing in Italy as well in November. And he's so funny. So whenever we're in a team meeting, he's always on them when he's at work, and he just, for some unknown reason, unmutes himself when he's talking to somebody else. Like it's the weirdest. Like he'll just butt in randomly. Like when we were playing in the online WTC, he would just butt into random games when you're not allowed to speak and just be shouting down the mic. Like no idea why. Great guy though. Great guy.
Somebody will be at a crucial moment of the game trying to figure something out, and you just hear Mop come over and go, Terry! Terry!
And then it would be every member of Team England going, Mop!
I think there's something your Dowie subscribers get to look forward to is I'll be doing a Dowie takeover again during Worlds while Rich is busy and playing, so you'll get to see my mug again, and hopefully it wasn't too boring last time.
It was the best content Dowie's ever put out.
It was to be fair, an actual dwarf doing dwarf content for his channel.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's on theme, mate. It's on theme. So, which of all the teams are you most looking forward to playing into?
I know which one I don't want to, but I'm not allowed to say that on the channel. And I don't think I'm even allowed to say the ones I want to on the channel. There's too many people watching.
I think if anyone answers this, you're going to give stuff away.
The sportsman
I
people.
can be
There you
sentimental
go.
about this because we've been mean to Nick over the past couple of videos. And I like my sneaky little list goblin coming in, stealing our lists. I think the plans are, because his team's getting later in, that he's actually going to meet up with us on the Friday, which I'm looking forward to. I've never met him in real life. I've spoken to him for close to a year and a half now about lists and all the way through. So actually meeting people that we've not met, it's nothing to do with the gaming. It's people that you don't know, because you see your lists that you introduce to the world, and then people start playing them, and you talk through them, and you go through tactics and how you're approaching it, but you never meet these people. So I'm looking forward to France. I'd like to play France, just because sentimental reasons. All of the home nations, they're all really great guys, so I'd love to say Wales or Scotland to play those guys, but yeah, those have been the three.
I'd love any of the Six Nation countries in a final. I think would be beautiful, and I'd be happy to play in the final.
Oh, the Italians as well. I'd love to play the Italians as well, just because we had such a great time at the Alpine Cup. Some of them dodged the goblins back then, so I've got some more shooting for them this time round.
I think I'm particularly looking forward to seeing. So Wales's coach now, so the person who's doing the same job as myself for Wales, is Rob West. He's also the team sponsor as well for Firestorm Games. But initially, I think he gave himself the title as drinking coach. And by the sounds of it now, he's actually got to do the actual coaching role. I think he's gutted, but I think he's still going to be the drinking coach for the weekend. He can. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It'll be fun.
That's the one player I don't want to play. Is the giant from Wales, because he scares the life out of me. I'm never going to beat him on the table.
Wait. Alex, I want to play him.
He's enormous.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Alex from Wales. Yeah,
He's
he's huge. He's absolutely huge. Like he's been hitting the weights for like at least 30 years. Like he's a mountain.
Yeah, he's a nice guy though.
My missus came into Home Nations, saw him, and just went, "Wow!" And I was like, "Oh, thanks for that."
Yeah, I know. He's massive and a good-looking chap as well.
Yeah.
So what can you say? Hopefully, and he's playing Cathay now as well. So hopefully we don't play him.
No, I don't want to play him. Yeah, definitely. Another reason.
Right.
Is that the same guy you played at All Nations, Rich?
It is. Yeah. Honestly, he's a great guy. So we have a question from Mortis Warhammer. Which teams do you think will be the hardest to play and get a good matchup against. So we can't really probably talk about this too much, although me and Tom have talked about. I think personally, Germany have the strongest all-round kind of lists. Like, I think that team is going to make a lot of people think going into the pairings, and that's definitely one that we've had to kind of practice the pairings on. Specifically, like it's just hard to deal with. Like every single army that they're using complements the other ones in the pairings. It's really well thought out, and just a very, very strong lineup. As for a good matchup into, honestly, I wouldn't be able to say.
No way of answering that without shit talking someone, really.
Yeah, I think what's probably important to note is whilst we're not going to show it off yet or at all, we do the teams matrix, which all the players fill in to say how they think they'll do into a particular list, and then we get an overall sort of idea of how we're looking into a particular team. And I won't name any team names, but there are a red matchup for us is a bad one or a potentially bad one, and there are a few red matchups there. Let's be fair. I don't think any of the teams can be. You can't get your foot off the gas for any of these teams. So everyone's going to be taken seriously, and dice will be dice.
No, they really will be. So, Pointy Paints, when were you getting the lads over to Northern Ireland plus a drinking session? Organise a team event and we'll be there.
We tried. Like, we voted for you to
so when
Six Nations.
Yeah. When it was supposed to be in Dublin, my missus was well excited. She was like, yeah, I'm going to come too if it's Dublin. Not that we're unhappy that it's not Dublin anymore, but just organise another one in Dublin. It doesn't even have to be Dublin. But your pub idea sounded mint.
Right, I think it's a fair point to note that whilst we were waiting at Home Nations, with about 5 minutes to go, pretty much the entirety of Team Ireland rocked up at the pub across the road into the venue.
It's a
good effort. It's a good effort.
Yeah, and they only started drinking a bit late as well. I think it was like 9 before they started drinking. So
9 in the morning, just so everybody knows. 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, I love every single one of them. They're awesome. Great guys. It's a real shame they're not coming.
Yeah, we're going to be the most atypical British tourists when we're on holiday, though. Not getting drunk, nice and awake early, no complaining. We're going to be good little boys on holiday.
And wearing England shirts just to top it all off.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to vomit at like 9 o'clock in the morning this time. So we've actually got a drinking ban on until the Sunday, just because it turns out that none of us can play with a hangover. So
it's a hell of a time for there to be a load of controversy surrounding the flag. Me being packed with a car full of flag-based merchandise. I'm not a bad person. I promise you. Like, it's fun.
I know. Yeah, it's okay. It'll be fine if we win. It'll be fine.
You'll have to take that massive Brexit sticker off your back window.
That's
right. Yeah, so for going back to Mortis's question about which teams we think the hardest. So another one as well is we know a lot of these players. Like, we've seen a lot of games that have been in, whether that be online tournaments or seeing armies that they've created. And there is some amazing players at this event. Like, it's crazy. Like, if you just look at all of Team USA, like the gravitas that team is bringing with them, you can't discount all of that stuff. But something that we've tried to do is thinking that every single team, all of the players are the same level. Everyone's going to be as good as they possibly can be. And if it's a list that we don't really understand, we are like why they've picked certain things. We're just trying to assume that they have a plan for this that we potentially haven't seen yet. So I think we've been doing quite well with that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's been plenty of opportunities to sort of see the list and go, what are they thinking? And then with a few practice games, you're like, oh, that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be a bit of a muggins to see any list that anyone had submitted at the WTC and go, what's that? It must be shit. Like, there will be a tech behind everything that we've just not seen yet. Or at least we have to respect it as such. There may be a shit list, but I can't fathom that someone would spend the amount of money that it costs to go to these things and the amount of time it takes to go and rock out a piece of shit. What would be the point?
Yeah, well, it's like Hungary's Goblin list. Like that thing's crazy. Like I've never seen anything like that before, and we had to get Dave to play it a few times for us to realize what it does. And it's an amazing list. Like we talk about it on a previous video where we were talking about our favorite ones. It's crazy. Like you love that list, don't you, Dave?
It's got angles. People don't see the angles, and you can catch them. It's like 2 dragons killed in a single combat. Like it will combat res you in ways that you don't see if you don't see it. And I think I did similar to Tom with his balloons, with setting up charges where I'm going to lose that charge overall, but then it moves them into positions that I want them in to do what the rest of my plan is. And Tom was really confident until I put a triple charge into a balloon, it disengaged. It's like, well, that balloon's now next to the other one, which is now next to 9 fanatics that have just been released through them. So the list people have, they're there for a reason. It's finding out what that reason and sort of pick it out is the real challenge. And that Hungry list is just it's a sack of cats, just mental. But if it's played correctly and with a world's level player, actually it's got angles that you don't see.
I feel like players going, no, you're telling everyone what it does. Shut up, shut up.
I think that's one of my favorite things about playing like at international events. Like anyone who hasn't been, so anyone who's living in like England or even anywhere in Europe or even America, like it's awesome to go to a different country to play in their events, because then you see how the different metas evolve and why different players are using different things. Like that was one of the biggest takeaways from Italy, because they play very differently than we do. Like the armies, like the archetypes are really different than us, and it's really cool to see why they make those picks. And yeah, like it's really cool. Like that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to most actually about playing in Germany, is just seeing why all of these different countries are picking this army over that army, and why, like, say why this team picked demons over some other stuff, why this team picked Skaven, and just seeing all of like the kind of the hidden tech behind all of the armies. Like the fact that there is a load more Skaven armies than I was anticipating is pretty cool.
I think you just see that the in different countries the meta itself sort of develops in isolation, and then you sort of bring it all together, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what goes on.
I like to think of it as the Mangler Squig paradox is what my brain's dubbed it, because for the longest time we were looking at the English meta. Mangler Squigs were seen as just a really quick way to give 90 points to your opponent, or however much they cost. We go to Italy, every single Orc and Goblins player is like, why haven't you run max Mangler Squigs in every single list that you run?
Oh, no, thank you so much, Mark.
Cheers, man.
Thank you very much, mate. That means a lot, to be honest. It means a lot.
It's noting the other countries' luck as well, because I love Mangler Squigs, but I never take them, because anybody who has seen me play this game, why I build lists the way I build them, is because I've got the Richie dice. Last event I went to, it took me 143 shots to kill the Green Knight once. These were my magic bullets, AP2, everything going, still wouldn't die. So when we went to Italy, just 18-inch charges out of Manglers out of nowhere. They just happen. They just bring the dice as well, and it's just having that threat range.
Yeah, I got smashed by Manglers in Italy, to be fair. I just didn't respect them. I just couldn't kill them. So Mortis with another question. Is the first round pairing on new recruit for the first one? And if so, what are your thoughts going into game one against Hungary? Of course, not revealing any hidden tech. So I think all of the pairings should be going up. I will also be doing like little short videos of how the pairings have gone and stuff, so everybody can see how we're getting on. So we've been practicing the pairings. Hopefully we can come out on top, but there are some avenues where they could come out on top as well. Some of their armies are good into some of our armies, and some of ours are good into them. So it's going to take us winning the pairings to be able to win the matchup. So fingers crossed we can do it, but we cannot discount any of their players. Some of the armies are very, very spicy, and like we were talking about in the Goblin way, in a kind of a hidden way as well. So it's going to be a really cool first round. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to, again, getting on with it. The game starts. So for me, when it all first starts, I pretty much have half an hour. I just sit down, have a brew, ignore everything that's going on, and then I start wandering around. And it's quite good fun, just sort of trying to learn to read games with a sort of a snapshot, which is very difficult, if not impossible. But most of it right now for me is reading, especially Dave, reading someone's facial expressions, and I can go, "Ooh, Dave's not doing well. Need to do something about this." So it's just
down. It's not a facial expression. It's Dave sitting down during a game.
Yeah.
Not having fun.
Yeah, and that's a big part for me is just trying to keep up with all that and going, Rich, Dave sat down, mate. I need you to push.
Yeah, it's either that or there's Andy stood on the chairs over the top of his army, which is amazing.
That's when you know it's gone real techie. When there's 4 tables worth of people standing around one table and both the opponents are stood on their chairs. That's when you know it's really getting crunchy.
To be fair, if I was playing that particular game on that particular table, even with the chair, I wasn't going to be able to see everything. Those were some high tables.
You could have done one of those Mission Impossible like ceiling.
Ah, yeah, just down so I can have a quick look.
Have any rules issues arisen, Richie? Have there been any little problems?
How long have we got?
Every day.
One going on right now.
Yeah. Every day. This is a real issue because everybody reads stuff and interprets stuff differently. Even the English speakers. Like, I think the problem that we have in England is that I don't even know what it is. Like, we even interpret stuff different than the USA. Like, I don't know if it's because we potentially have known games designers and play testers and stuff like that. So, and over the years, so we get kind of like a general gist of how it should be interpreted. I genuinely have no idea. One come up. Oh, sorry, mate.
I was going to say, I think the biggest point to take away from it is that this game was written in English. And when it gets translated across as a direct translation, sometimes it doesn't mean exactly the same thing.
Well,
and we all know how wordy Warhammer rules are.
It's the type of English it's written in as well. All you've got to do is look at the New Horus Heresy language. That stuff's ironclad, but when you go in and read it, it's horrific. It genuinely took me 5 attempts of picking up that rulebook before I managed to break through the legalese, and it went into my brain. If the old world book was written like that, it would not have gotten the same uptake at all. So it's the trade-off that you make between this ironclad legalese language and the fluffier text, and the way which they've chosen to write in the old world is half of most rule descriptions are flavour. And that's how it's always been in fantasy.
Yeah.
So
I do wish I could set on fire the man whose idea was to put italics for the fluff underneath, because the amount of rules that have been contested based on the italics underneath, and you're like, oh god. No.
So italics has been fluff since 3rd edition. Yeah. It's whoever decided in this one that they are allowed to use it as rules too. Confound you.
I know. Although there's been some really interesting ones come up, because when what I found is everybody in like the English speaking countries, like, we'll read a rule and we will expect it to be intended in a specific way, and then someone who is like, English isn't their first language, they'll read it and they'll read it completely differently. Like, we literally just found out the other day that the Cathay bombs on a 5 to a 6, you don't have to place them in the middle of a unit. We just all assumed that you placed it on the middle of a unit, but you don't. You can place it anywhere on the unit, and it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy.
Well, there's a similar one with Cathay when the book first came out as well, which the wording on how Sky Lantern bombs were used wasn't explicit and didn't translate very well. And so that there were some playing circles that, let's say you Arcane Urgency the balloon, would allow you to Sky Lantern bomb twice, because it's apparently translated through to when it finishes moving. Well, with Arcane Urgency, you do that twice, don't you? When it should be at the end of its final movement is when it happens. Yeah. So it's just a number of things like that. There are those. Then there's just straight, I think differently to you, which comes up quite a lot as well. You know, drill, really common example of that earlier on.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few of them. Like the Spanish translation had it that war machines just died anytime they fled. In the French Forces of Fantasy, Gyrocopters don't have magic resist or hatred orcs and goblins, which is really strange. And they even have it so it was a little mark saying that it's been taken out in their FAQ, which is really strange because that hasn't happened anywhere else. So everybody is kind of playing a slightly different game. So I think that's potentially one of the harder points that most countries have had to go to, that everybody's playing a slightly different game and learning the confac. It's very, very different. That was something we found playing in Italy as well, actually. Like there was a lot of rules where we were like, oh, but we play it this way. And they were like, well, we play it this way and this is our event. It's like, okay, no, that's fine. Like we'll play it that way. That's fine. But it's obviously, as we've played it differently, it's quite hard to kind of disassociate from how you've played the game the entire time, right?
Yeah, there's a whole group of people. I believe there's 4 actual judges at the event and then a whole host of people who are helping out as well. But they wanted more. So I would say anyone who's listening who thinks maybe they don't want to apply as a player for, and we're not just talking to English people here, this is anyone in the world who doesn't want to apply for a team but would want to be involved in Worlds. They want more judges for next year. It was way too late in the game now for you to come to Mel, unfortunately. But for Talavera next year, if there are people who thoroughly understand the game and want to help out with the game, please more judges help, because the more people who are the educated voices in the room, the more help can be given and the less problems arise as well. They're doing an absolutely stand-up job, the judges are, for WTC at the moment, but they've been very vocal in saying that they are undermanned. So
Yeah.
consider this the clarion call.
Yeah, I think one of the things you talk about language and stuff like that, but again, with the judges, they're not playing; they're putting their own time into it. So I think I know for Team England, for example, if a judge makes a call, that's it; it's final. There'll be no arguments, and hopefully that'll spill across, and everybody will just take a judge's call as final and just carry on with the game, whether you like it or not. I think once a judge's call is made, it's final. You carry on playing, because otherwise you could argue rules all day. And that's not the point of the weekend. So it'd be great.
Yeah, just excited to get over there now. It's just like we were saying at the beginning of the video, just so much anticipation has gone into this that it almost kind of weirdly doesn't feel real now that it's coming up to it, which is quite strange, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine afterwards, we're going to be like, what are we doing now? What's
Yeah,
next?
I know.
Yeah.
That's a 40k.
Prepare for Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, this is
because I think from next year it's going to be a whole new team, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like next year will be a whole new team, which will, that'll be fun for everyone involved. I can imagine it's hard to set everything up, right?
Once we pass the torch, it's like, look at all the work we've done. You're welcome.
Yeah, or just hide it all.
He goes, and here's a link to 3,500 spreadsheets. You're welcome.
Yeah, sure. Right, so we're probably going to be looking at wrapping this up soon. Does anybody have any questions about anything before we do? I am really looking forward to playing an army that isn't gyrocopters afterwards. I've had so many games now with this list that I am not done with it, but yeah, pretty much.
I'm also looking forward to not playing your gyrocopters ever again.
I would say anyone who wants to play teams, temper it with a healthy amount of dumbass club play, because you will learn to despise the army that you're taking. You need to not hate the game, just understand it's your specific choice to play that army.
It's when you get to the point where you've realised with your army that one person on the table is going to have a miserable time, like with my gnome. I'm either going to wreck somebody and they're going to do nothing for 6 turns, or I am going to get wrecked by it, and somebody's going to have a bad game. Yeah.
Sorry, looking at that question there, is there no Wood Elf armies going at all?
There is at least one, I believe.
Yeah, I thought there was.
USA's got a Wood Elf, I think.
The reason why there's not many, though, is because they struggle in this current meta. They don't have a place, unfortunately, unless you build the team around them.
They did get quite a big nerf as well.
If you consider this, Tizzy, there are more than 8 factions to take, and we can only take 8 of them. So unless you've got a player who is godlike with Wood Elves, why would you handicap yourself? That Wood Elf player who's coming must clearly be incredible with them and know something we don't. But
Swiss has as well. Swiss has as well.
Swiss has as well, yeah. But I'm not saying that they're a bad army, but for one of us to switch into Wood Elves when we haven't been taking them previously would be a massive handicap.
It's a fairly high skill army as well in its current state.
Yeah, it's just so hard to score with as well. Like it's a really, really difficult army to use, and I think most of the captains are looking for armies that are easier for people to use. So they like it's just much easier on the pairings. They have to bubble wrap them quite a lot. So David, how many games are you guys clocking a week to play into this style? Lots is the.
I mean,
surprisingly not lost at the same time as well.
I did 120 in 5 weeks when Cathay first came out. That was pretty rough.
Yeah,
it's
for your opponents.
Yeah. It's a really interesting one actually. It's because like you kind of go through stages. So initially, when we started practicing lots and lots and lots, we would have games all the time, playing loads and loads and loads. But now we know exactly what to do against each other and each other's lists and all that. You kind of get these, well, I don't want to play against you, and I'm not going to learn anything. And it's like the last couple of weeks, it's almost been semi-difficult to get games into, I would say, green matchups, because nobody wants to play into something that's going to smash them on turn 2. So it's the games have started to come down a little bit, right? So we've had to get new people in.
This is where you go the opposite again, because I think the one benefit of being on the team is if you open yourself up to other armies. So I smashed Null very early. I did 3 months of back-to-back games, just learning it, going through it, all the changes, to the point where I'm pretty confident that I know exactly what to do in 90% of scenarios. But then other people needed practice under the list, so I've now learned to play Beastmen. I've learned to play Tomb Kings of all the different varieties. I'm a pretty competent Beastmen player. I'm pretty competent with Mort Cult, because you're getting reps in for lists that you're not even taking, and then you get the double benefit of knowing exactly how you'd approach that list as well. So if anybody's interested in the team, I would recommend getting in just to become a better player, because I've been, especially for somebody that's new to the game, I've been thrown in and testing into people who are supposedly amongst the best in the country, and I feel like I've got better across the board, that I understand combat armies now, and I understand how they approach the game and what they're looking to do. So you can actually get a lot more experience, not just playing your faction, but actually playing everything.
I think I'm a narrative player. I play for the fun of the game rather than being competitive, and this is a very different mindset for when you're playing competitive. But even I've played a few games into some of the guys. The worst game I've ever played in my life. Cheers, Dave. But yeah, it was.
I did teach you at the same time as a coach.
No, you did. You did definitely. But it's it's definitely been interesting seeing the way the armies are, because I mean I love a team's tournament when I'm playing on it, but I wouldn't want to play it at this level. Yeah. No thanks.
For those of you who weren't watching at the beginning, Alex is our team manager, so he's in charge of all of the admin, and he's coming over and coaching in Germany as well. So he's not playing on the team, but he is basically wiping all of our asses and making sure that we play properly.
He's bringing us our bananas.
Yeah, no, it genuinely, it's my own little mini game, and it's important. I didn't realise how important, and it is actually good fun. As long as I'm just praying, because it didn't happen at the home nations. So I'm just praying I don't make a mistake and cost us around, because I can do that, which is unfortunate.
Right, we'll only kick you.
That was Richie at home nations telling me to push.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. You are playing out of your list as well as assisting in other players' practice. Yeah, I think that's 100% necessary. So like something that we've been doing, which I can imagine a lot of the other teams have been doing as well, is playing the other team's variants of our lists into our own players so they can get practice into the opponent's lists. So like I would be playing I played a few games with Aku's list from Finland, and a few with the other dwarf players into people, so that people can get practice and reps into those. I think that's quite an important thing to do, because you need practice into those specific ones rather than just the variants of the lists that we're running, and also the different archetypes as well. So yeah, like you definitely need to. And
it just gets more practice and more rounds for people, because it's like people will be confident into a matchup, and you go, I don't think that's a good matchup for you, and they'll say, yeah, it is. So you play it out, and then we had this with the Beastmen. I'd never been into Beastmen ever, And then I played a game with it, and I'm starting a Beastman army after that. I absolutely smashed Toll to bits. He never got close to me, and it's like, this is a great army. I love this.
Which I think is really unfair, because I've played Toll with Beastman about 20 times, and he rolled 3s permanently on his Gaze of the Gods.
Talking about Toll, you're right, mate. For those of you who don't know, Toll is our Chaos player or our Dragon Push player.
You're not relevant in 1.5, according to Tom.
Yeah, no, the internet hates me now. Again.
Steve's the oldest bloke in the team, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the papa. He's not granddad, but
grandpa.
He's papa.
Right, so from Mark...
Yeah, sorry, I was just saying what Mark just said there, that's definitely something Tom was talking about a fair bit, and I've been made very well aware of. But you're not hydrated, or if you're hungover, not fed up, etc., you're going to make mistakes. So yeah, that is a massively important point. Whilst we're not all athletes, but you've got to you've got to sort of treat it that way, haven't you? So best performance is going to be being fed well, sleeping well, and make sure you're hydrated. It's a huge deal, which I know some teams are definitely leaning into, and we are as well. It's it might be Warhammer, but it needs doing.
This is where I go back to my contact sport days and remind everybody on the team that hydration starts today, not on Thursday. You can't hydrate yourself on the day. You've got to do it 3 or 4 days in advance to be actually hydrated.
Some high quality H2O.
Yeah.
H2O. Yeah, beer does help.
I was laughing this morning. It's relevant. The missus started calling Nick Boucher as Bobby Boucher, the water boy. So I'm going to have to ask him to change his name again.
Boucher, Bucket, this is your warning to send the dice in the next 45 minutes. Otherwise, you're not going to get them to me in time.
Bloody French. Come on, Nicky. We have a question for you, Alex.
Do we?
No, we do.
Oh, I think so. When we look at, we call myself a team manager now, but I was doing a fair bit of coaching early on, and I still am doing it on the day. I just really enjoyed. Doing the admin in the background wasn't the most enjoyable, but I've learned quite a lot doing it. But I think the most enjoyable thing so far, Home Nations, when I really sort of did my role for the first time, trying to sort of, because I think I walked about 25,000 steps around a couple of 6x4 tables in that weekend. So it's getting around, seeing how everyone's getting on, and just trying to make sure that if anything's going wrong, I've gone elsewhere to try and fix that problem, to try and cover for somebody else. And that's the point of the Team Warhammer. And that's, that my little mini game, as I keep calling it, that was definitely the most fun thing. Definitely.
Oh, Forever the Septic, the reason why is because you get food included, mate. So that's buffet lunches on top.
Kind of horrendous, because I'm bringing Angry Amy along with me. So I'm the only one that's bringing one of the partners along. And she is having to stay outside of the hall basically the entire time. So she's allowed to come in like 5 minutes at a time after food. Not entirely happy about that. It's a little bit annoying, but there's no way I'm paying 126 euros for her to basically call me a nerd. So
Calavera is not next year, and neither will Six Nations be as well. So for those two things, spectator tickets won't be anywhere near as expensive.
Yeah, which would be quite nice.
And less need for a spectator ticket when you're near Madrid.
Or Sterling. Sterling Six Nations, right?
Sterling. My missus is auntie lives in Sterling. Sterling's easy for me.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you get back on the team. Right then, guys. Should we? I know. Right. Should we end it there? Because I actually am flying over to Amsterdam. Well, not soon, but in a few hours. So as I'm going off to a little holiday before we go over to Germany. So thank you very much for coming on. Thank you everybody in the chat. It's been great chatting to everyone. And for those of you who are in Germany this weekend, I will see you then. I cannot wait. I'm so excited now.
Thank you for all the there's quite a lot of people giving us well wishes. So yeah, cheers for that. We'll see what we can do.
A big shout out is Mark from Newcastle Knights putting a round up for us as well. For Sunday night, he's sent money over for a round. It's cool of him. Definitely not necessary, but really appreciated, Mark.
Flaming Sambucas.
Is that for when we're there?
Yeah.
Well, Richie's put you all in a drinking ban, so I'll just have those. Cheers, Mark.
Mate, you want a drinking ban as well? I don't know what about.
The manager, it's fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, as well. It's just been amazing just to show everybody the journey from this year and just share it with everyone. So thank you all so much. And hopefully we kind of do everybody proud and can bring back at least a trophy would be nice, I think. So thanks
All of
to
them.
everybody who's watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Thanks, guys.